everybody. This is Alan Fine for Virtual Roadshows-Selling Family Vacations. This particular panel is why these destinations are so family friendly, and it's panel one. We've got two of them. How top destinations cater to the family market with suggested tours, itineraries, hotels, activities, and more. We examine in depth what these destinations have to offer for family and travel advisors to sell here on Virtual Roadshows Selling Family Vacations. The panel, our illustrious panel, wave when I say your name. So Melanie Schinkel, did I say that right?
You did.
I did
G'day.
say that right before. Melanie Schinkel, Aussie Specialist Program Team Leader, Tourism Australia. Kristin Carlson, Tourism Exchange Japan. Art Jimenez, the Executive Director, Tourism for Visit Reno Tahoe. And Vivian Salazar, Director, Baja California Tourism Board. Thank you for all being here. And let's just, does anyone want to start? I want you to just briefly describe your destination and what it has to offer. Any takers, or I'll call out a name?
Yeah, look, I'll go ahead, Alan.
Thank you, Melanie.
Get it started. But yeah, g'day, everybody. G'day, Alan. And lovely to see you again. And thanks to all the travel advisors for joining the show. Like, this is going to be awesome. So yeah, the destination. So Australia, it's in the Southern Hemisphere, if you didn't know, between the Indian and the Pacific Oceans. It is the largest island, smallest continent, and sixth largest country in the world. And it's made up of mainland Australia, Tasmania, and several surrounding islands. So it's pretty big, it's almost the same size as the USA, but made up of 6 states and 2 territories. And we've only got a population of around 27 million, as opposed to your, 260 million? So lots of wide open spaces for clients to explore. Did you know, Alan, that Australia is consistently voted as one of the most desired destinations to visit on the planet?
I love hearing that, but I'm still stuck on an island as big as the United States, but keep going.
I know, it's crazy. And I think that's because it really does have something for everyone, which is just perfect for multi-generational families. So we have the natural beauty of the contrasting landscapes, weird and wonderful wildlife found nowhere else on the planet, and Indigenous culture spanning over 60,000 years, and not to mention our architectural icons in the vibrant and thriving modern cities, and deliciously diverse food, wineries, distilleries, and breweries. Gosh, like Australia's just got it all, Alan.
I know. It's funny that it's funny how we're all coming together to talk about our destinations and the different sizes. So, for example, Vivian, we're going to talk about Baja California now.
Well, thank you, Alan. I'm delighted being here this morning with these amazing destinations. But let me tell you about Baja California Norte. It's the northern state of Mexico, bordered with California. And maybe haven't you heard a lot about us, but maybe a little bit. If you like wine, for sure you have heard about our wine country. But from the majestic Rumorosa in Tecate to the desert of a giant Cardones in San Felipe, and from the mythical and legendary Avenida Revolucion, home of the Caesar salad, invented in Tijuana. Maybe none of you knew this.
No,
maybe you thought it was Italy, but no. Yes, it wasn't Italian, but he invented it in Tijuana 100 years ago. So if we keep moving across the state to the capital of wine country, that is Ensenada, with 7 valleys that we produce the 70% of the Mexican wine. So we are the top producers of Mexico, from Chardonnay, Cabernet, Merlot, the Mexican Nebbiolo, a Barbera, and of course, Sauvignon Blanc, Tempranillo. As well, we're doing sparkling wines now. So it's definitely a deep dive on our valleys. But if you are a foodie, well, let me tell you that Michelin Guide stars, Michelin Guide arrived to Mexico, and Baja California is one of the states that's included on this first guide. And well, definitely in our Valle, you will find some of the Michelin stars, Damiana with amazing cuisine, Animalon. And if you are interested on, or your travelers are interested on not leaving a footprint on our planet and helping us to keep in our planet and Baja staying for a longer time. Well, we have 3 green stars. So definitely visiting Lunario, Conchas de Piedra, or the chef Drew Deckman at Deckman's Almogor. It's a must in your bucket list visiting our wine country. But if you want to see about culture, well, from the Chinesca in Mexicali, that is our capital, or to the traditional lobster, we eat Burritos Lobsters in Puerto Nuevo. It's an amazing town that more of 80 restaurants to serve you these delicious burritos. But if you're looking for aquaculture, you can visit San Quintin and eat amazing oysters from the sea to your mouth, or Avalon, Sea Urchin. So it's an amazing seas that are embracing Baja California. Well, we would like to welcome you with a table set and draped with fine linens, offering the most revolutionary cuisine of Mexico, of our country. And welcome to the North, the noble arm of Mexico, that is vibrant, diverse, multicultural, and we always will receive you with open arms.
Vivian, that is, from your description, I would think that Baja is larger than Australia. So
exactly.
we'll give Australia a little more time later. Art, tell us about Reno.
So thank you, Alan, and thank you and welcome, travel advisors. You're so very important to our destination, as you are an extended sales force of ours, and we do rely on you having all the right information and right tools to help you make decisions to provide information to your customers. So Reno Tahoe, we are located about a 7-hour drive north of Las Vegas in northern Nevada. We are a casino town like Las Vegas, but only much smaller. I'll give you an example. Las Vegas has 160,000 hotel rooms. We have 18,000 hotel rooms. There are more hotel rooms on one street corner in Las Vegas than in Reno. So that gives you an idea of how small we are. We're at 4,600 feet elevation. So we're up in the mountains. It's supposed to snow in a couple days here. And we're located just about 45 minutes from Lake Tahoe. So Reno Tahoe is a dynamic 4-season resort destination in a natural setting. And it's where America's largest alpine lake meets the biggest little city in the world. We're surrounded by a lot of history, a lot of culture. We were a state became about right at the end of the Civil War, and we were very instrumental in ending that war. But we're surrounded by Virginia City. Virginia City is a city where silver was found in the 1850s. Genoa, which is the first settlement in Nevada. And of course, Lake Tahoe, which is the largest alpine lake in North America. And we'll talk about that later. And then we're surrounded by Carson City. Carson City is our state capital. But we are an outdoor 4-season destination full of Western heritage and hospitality.
It's great. It's such a diverse group that we have here. So now, Kristin, give us just a little thumbnail on Japan, and then the second question is, what makes it family friendly? Maybe we can combine the two, and then we'll have everyone else answer about their territories and destinations.
Right.
So,
exactly. And Art, that was wonderful, and love to learn about that. But I have to say, I am grateful that I didn't have to follow Vivian and Melanie with both of their beautiful accents. And I don't have the Japanese accent. I do have a little bit of a New Jersey accent, but the information's all the same. So yes, here at Tourism Exchange Japan, we represent 3 different areas in the vast country of Japan, 2 that are similar and 1 a little different. So we have the Kii Peninsula, which includes Nara, Mie, and the Wakayama prefectures. And all 3 are known for their natural landscapes, pilgrimage routes, and the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including the Kumano Kodo, as well as the outdoor Nazu Highlands. And these are located in the Tochigi prefecture, known for its mountain views, hot springs, and outdoor activities. And so, yes, Alan, going to your question and the purpose of this panel about what makes our destination family friendly and why is it a great destination for family travelers, and why our all important partners, the travel advisors, can feel confident advising their clients with families, the multi-generational or whomever coming together to travel there. Well, for instance, for the Kii Peninsula and the Ishikawa prefecture and areas, you have hands-on cultural, educational activities for all ages, including the very traditional pottery and tea ceremonies that are fun to experience and witness. And then for the Nazu Highlands, they're very family friendly. They're due to the focus on the interactive outdoor activities and accessible walking trails of all levels of difficulty that you can do family friendly hikes. So we really recommend that. And this is all kind of beyond the traditional golden route of the traditional travel to Japan.
Great. And Art, for the young gamblers, they should be coming to Reno Tahoe. Is that but what are the family? How do you cater to families in that territory?
No, let's talk a little bit about we do have about a half dozen hotels that are resorts and large, very similar to hotels and casinos in Las Vegas that are chock full of activities for kids and entertainment and restaurants. But I think what the big allure about us is that we're about a 3.5-hour drive from San Francisco. So you can use Reno as a hub to get you around, the northern part of California, but certainly within our regions. I touched on briefly on the surrounding cultural cities. Virginia City, again, where silver was found in the 1850s. And if you visit Virginia City, which is about a 30-minute drive from Reno, it looks like an old Wild West town with the wooden sidewalks, the old saloons. It's very, very tourist-oriented at this time, but you'll find mine tours from some of the mines that were available back then. You'll find a lot of history. You'll find that you've got a lot of family events going on, and then old opera houses. Genoa, the first settlement in Nevada, it's so small you can fit it in a Walmart parking lot. You've got Nevada's first thirst parlor for your families that are over 21, but you also will find a beautiful 5-star French restaurant. And of course, Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe, biggest alpine lake in North America, 22 miles wide, 12 miles long. It's about 72 miles to go all the way around. It's 1,600 feet deep. 12 ski resorts surrounding the area, more ski in our region than all of North America. And we'll get hit with snow first because we're in the Sierras, so the snow will come down and then the storm will pass, and that'll give us 300 days of sunshine throughout the year. So that
let's stress that this is a year-round destination.
Exactly. It's not just winter sports, but all sorts of summer sports as well. We have 600 miles of hiking and biking trails. We've got trails that are nestled right along Lake Tahoe, looking down right over the lake in crystal clear water. You can take your white plate and see it down about 80, 90 feet. That's how clear the water is.
Hey, Vivian, I know that families love your destination. Tell us why.
Well, thank you, Alan. Well, definitely, Baja California has a mix for families. They're looking for adventure, outdoor activities, but as well something cultural. And if you think of Mexico, you think of a beach destination. For sure, Baja California has a beach destination. We're embraced by two seas, that is the Pacific and the Sea of Cortez. And if you go to the Pacific, you can see whale watching. So starting from December to March, late March or early April, you can do whale watching in Ensenada, or you can keep going to San Quintin. But as well, if you're looking for interaction with these amazing creatures, sea creatures, as our white whale, as well, you can visit the Sea of Cortez, that is San Felipe, and a little bit of Bahia of Los Angeles. And you can see that kind of creature and swim with it. I think that's like amazing, getting in contact with nature. But if you want to think about something way different about this, well, hiking, and now it's an amazing trend. A lot of people, after a few years that we were a little bit of indoors, were looking for seeking these spots. Well, we have amazing hikes in Rosarito, Ensenada, in our wine country as well. You can do it in San Quintin, or we have a hike that you can do from the Pacific to the Sea of Cortez that is called Coast to Coast. It's 111 kilometers, but it's a family activity as well. And there's people who can help you if you don't have the condition. But the amazing views that people can have, camping all over Baja, it's, well, sightseeing. But if you are a little bit more about city, well, city tour in Tijuana and visiting the Taco Museum. If you think of Mexico as well, you think of tacos. And, we always say that the best tacos are in Tijuana. So you can do this activity like doing your old tortillas and then, of course, seasoning the meat. And, well, it will resemble if you're visiting the Color Museum or if you go to New York and you do the Vanderbilt. Well, this is an amazing experience for families. And visiting a collectionist museum, a Lucha Libre museum, that it's a lot of festivity in Mexico. So we dare you to visit our state.
Melanie, in Australia, what makes it so family friendly?
Well, Alan, Australia really is a playground for adventure. So unique wildlife, epic outback escapes, plentiful activities, and picture-perfect beaches. So family getaways just don't really get any better than that. There's something for everyone. Australians speak Australian, believe it or not, which is a form of English that is debatable. So no real language barrier for English-speaking visitors besides the accent. But we do have, Aussie dictionaries we can give to advisors to give to your clients if they want to learn some of the Aussie lingo before getting down under. Australia has exceptional medical facilities and services, so it's a really safe and secure nation to visit as well. We have family-friendly transport, accommodation, and touring options to suit all budgets. But most importantly, Australians, we are very relaxed and friendly people. We enjoy sharing stories over a delicious meal with travellers, love to have a laugh, and want you to experience Australia like you're one of the locals too. So we just love an excuse to show off our amazing country so visitors can experience for themselves why we say there's nothing like Australia. So in terms of activities, there's a lot. Every state and territory in Australia offers fantastic options for families. So no matter where you go, you're going to have a wonderful, life-changing memory experience together. However, if I were to select a few options that are really designed to entertain the entire family, I do recommend Tangalooma Island Resort on Moreton Island. And this is a 75-minute ferry ride from the city of Brisbane in the state of Queensland. And they have beachfront villas that are perfect for large families. And alongside the iconic nightly wild dolphin feeding, guests can also use the clear bottom kayaks, go sandboarding, ride ATV quad bikes, take a scenic helicopter ride, play beach volleyball, and even go whale watching or snorkeling at the shipwrecks on site. Also in Brisbane, Queensland, we have Bluey's World. Now, Bluey's pretty famous. It's about to open on November 7th. I'm not sure if you've heard of Bluey, Alan, but I'm sure most parents have heard of Bluey and her best mate, Bingo. So Bluey's World is a one-of-a-kind guided immersive experience that takes visitors into the Healer family's iconic Queensland home, backyard, and beyond for real life. So families can explore multiple rooms, play games from Bluey, such as Keepy Uppy, which is a really fun game, while experiencing real-life sets, scenes, and characters from the hit show. So that's a brand new one that's just about to open. Another one just about an hour's drive from the city of Brisbane, so families can visit the really famous Australia Zoo. So this was founded by the late Steve Irwin's family. And the zoo offers koala cuddles, echidna encounters, time with wombats and wallabies. Visitors can also spend time at the zoo's hospital, which is the busiest wildlife hospital in the country. I'll pop down to Sydney quickly because I can't be on this show without talking about Sydney. And there I would recommend the family do the Sydney Harbour Bridge with Bridge Climb Sydney. So the friendly guide will snap a pic of the family once they reach the summit. Hands down, best views of Sydney and a real sense of achievement upon completing that climb. After that, they could go visit Taronga Zoo to see Australian wildlife up close. And clients can now actually sleep over at the zoo at the wildlife retreat. So this is a boutique hotel surrounded by iconic wildlife, including koalas, kangaroos, and echidnas. Wake up and you'll just see a koala snoozing in the trees outside your window. It's pretty awesome. And then perhaps heading to iconic Bondi Beach for a private family surf lesson with Let's Go Surfing. So, I could go on and on. There's so many options. But the key thing to remind your clients, agents, is that Australia is a multi-visit destination. It's just too big to see it all in one trip. And the good news is that 62% of leisure travellers do return to Australia within 5 years of their first visit. So if you sell one trip, I guarantee you will sell at least 2 or 3 more to the same clients because they will just be absolutely hooked.
That's a great selling point. And in fact, each destination hopes for the same thing. Let's talk to Kristin now about what activities will attract families to Japan.
In the Key Peninsula, which again is represented or rather made up, comprised of Mia, Nara, and Key, we have the Mikimoto Pearl Islands in Toba. So that's really fun. The visitors and the children can watch the live demonstrations by the traditional pearl divers, the women, the ama, and there's those museums. And then you have the Toba Aquarium. So that's one of Japan's largest. So we know families love that. And then it's famously, so this is again the Mie Prefecture, famously associated with the ninjas and has the Iga Ninja Museum and the ninja demonstrations. And then in the Nazu Highlands, much like we were talking about the zoos in Australia, we have the Nazu Animal Kingdom, which has an interactive petting zoo. We also have a Nazu ropeway, a cable car ride up Mount Nazu. And in the Nara, there's the famous deer park. You maybe have seen the pictures of all the deer on the side of the hills. And then kind of overall, if you just want to, I know it's hard to remember all the individual pieces, but we have the family-friendly ryokans. Those are the traditional accommodations. And then there's very much cultural workshops, temples and shrines for everyone to visit, and the museum. So those are the overall culture. But again, just think of the animal kingdom, the cable car ride, the pearl divers, aquarium, ninja demonstrations, and the deer park. I think those are some highlights. And we have curated family-friendly itineraries that we can provide, these family-focused itineraries that we can provide to the advisors.
Baja. What specific activities will attract families?
Definitely camping and glamping, getting to know the nature, this amazing beaches on the Sea of Cortez, but on the other side, you have the desert. So camping over here and whale watching activities, hiking, kayaking on our Bufadora. That's the second largest geyser in Mexico. So it's some amazing activities, and getting to know from where the seafood is coming. The oyster scallops are amazing. Getting to see how the abalones are growing as well. Our tuna farms. So definitely getting to know the sea concept of sea to table or farm to table. Getting to know in Valle de Guadalupe, we have this amazing still for kids, and they get to feed from the valley, that it's harvest in the valley, the food to goats, sea cows. So it's kind of amazing seeing how we're doing things from farm to table, but you get to know the species that are going here in Baja. And I also insist about city. If you want to do city and culture, well, I'll dare you to visit Mexicali, that is our capital. And when you visit some destination, you will always see that how there's a space for the Chinese culture. Well, let me tell you that Mexicali, it's well known for their Chinese food, but because there was a large migration of Chinese people, and because of the weather of Mexicali, gets a little bit of 90 degrees, I'll say, or more, or sometimes it will go higher than 100 degrees. Well, they build cities down Mexicali. So you get to visit these tunnels that how the communities, the Chinese community used to live. Yes, underground. So it's called La Chinesca. And as well, because I mentioned that we have a lot of Chinese food, the best Chinese food in Mexico, more than 200 restaurants. Well, every Chinese year festivity, we have this event called One for 5,000, because when you see the Chinese menu, you always ordered one of the combos. So the number one for 5,000 people. And you see this festivity, and in the Chinatown that we have, it's our historic city town. So definitely I'll dare these families to walk around the Chinese, visit the Chinese museum, some recovered spots like Cine Curto, that's a street garden for food. So definitely I'll invite family to visit us.
That is definitely interesting. I'm sure travel advisors learned something there. Art, did you answer what activities you have that are family friendly that would attract, or do you have some more to share with us?
Sure. I just touched on some briefly, but one thing I do want to emphasize that we are an outdoor recreation destination with over 600 miles of hiking and biking trails. If you're really a biking enthusiast, I would recommend the Tahoe Rim Trail, which is the crest of the part of the Sierra Mountains. That it's about 14 miles, and you go to Tunnel Creek, they'll bring you to the launch place, you'll go up the mountain, and you'll go about 14 miles. But as you're looking down right at Lake Tahoe. That's if you're an enthusiast for that. And again, we have much more of that. As you get into South Lake Tahoe, you've got to Emerald Bay. And Emerald Bay is one of the most photographed places, I think, on Instagram. And they have an old paddle boat that you can take a tour of called the MS Dixie. And this paddle boat takes about 2 hours, takes you out to the bay. And the reason it becomes emerald is because it only gets to be 40 feet deep, 14 feet deep in some areas, and it really changes the color of the lake. And that's a nice experience. Also, in the Carson Valley, which is about 40 minutes from Reno, we've got a lot of eagles and a lot of hawks. So a lot of American bald eagles. You can take tours in the winter and early spring to go watching the eagles. And I know somebody mentioned the clear kayaks. The clear kayaks at Lake Tahoe, again, are extremely beautiful. So Lake Tahoe has a river that comes out of Lake Tahoe called the Truckee River, and that meanders about 120 miles, and you can go kayaking on that. And that river goes right through the middle of Reno, and it ends up on an Indian reservation, and it creates what's called Pyramid Lake. And Pyramid Lake is formed by this river, and it's the only river in North America that doesn't start in an ocean or end in an ocean. So a lot of big mouth bass fishing in that area is located as well. We're also the gateway to Black Rock Desert. I don't know if you've heard of Burning Man, but Burning Man, it happens in September every year, where 80,000 burners meet to watch the man burn after a week of activities. But it's located on 1.2 million acres of a dry lake bed. And if you get out there, not during Burning Man, you can stay in Gerlach, but anyhow, it's one of the darkest places on Earth. It's designated as a dark space. We are about 2 hours north of there. There's another location, another dark space. So we have a lot of stargazing in our destination. And again, right up at Lake Tahoe, you've got some beautiful stargazing as well. Special events. We have over 150 special events throughout the year that are really family friendly. We have the U.S.'s largest free hot air balloon festival with the Reno balloon races, and those happen in September. Hot August Nights has been going on for over 30 years, but that's a lot of classical cars. The city shuts down, streets shut down for all these beautiful classical automobiles. And then we've got Shakespeare. Shakespeare goes on for about 2 months. Up at Lake Tahoe, they build a replica of an old Globe Theater, and you can sit right on the lake, listening to the waves crash at night as you're watching Shakespeare. Anyhow, I can go on and on and on, but we're really an outdoor destination, and of course we do have gaming and casinos as well.
Now is the meat of the matter. We've got all the travel advisors watching, And let's talk about specific programs you have to help the travel advisors get their arms around the information so they can better sell the destination. So let's start with Vivian. Let's talk about Baja and what you have for the travel advisor.
Well, thank you, Alan. Well, now we're working on a program for getting more info for them. But what we're doing now is webinars because we're getting ready for receiving travelers next year. I know that some of the destinations that are here are familiar with IPW, but next year, Baja California will be hosting the Tianguis Turístico, that is the biggest and largest industry event. So we're getting prepared with these kind of programs. And what I should invite travelers, because it's really important to get connected with them and getting more info for them, is to first of all, follow us on our social media on Baja California Travel and our website as well, and enroll on our newsletter so we can give them more info about the destination and how they can get connected with us and how they can be part of this program of webinars.
Thank you, Vivian. Let's go to Art. Do you have, does Tahoe have programs to help train travel advisors?
We do. We have a pretty robust travel trade communications program. Each month, we'll distribute through a partner 50,000 emails to travel advisors in the U.S. talking about what's new in the destination, whether we have new air service or new restaurant opening. And we also have a program with Travel Pro Media, which is a training platform that we partnered with Travel Nevada, which is our state tourism office. And then we also have webinars such as this, and we have programming in Mexico for any travel advisors that are located in Mexico. We just launched a 10-module training program, all in Spanish, on the ABCs of Reno. What is Reno? Where is Reno? And why should I recommend Reno? And then we also have a toolkit in various languages where it's chock full of information and videos and logos and photography and itineraries. And more recently, we just launched an AI chat itinerary builder on our website. So if an agent would like to build something and say, hey, I've got a family of 4 going, a 13-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy, and we're going to be here over these dates, it'll create an itinerary for you, pulling what's going on in the city at that time.
Okay, that's great. And now let's move to Australia. You have programs for us, for the travel advisors to learn more?
Absolutely, Alan. So through our multi-award-winning Aussie specialist program, we are training travel advisors about family travel options in Australia. The program recently released a family travel training course, which provides advisors with tips on how to sell family holidays in Australia, as well as highlighting destinations to visit, including urban and regional experiences. So by completing that family travel course, advisors will be able to confidently create itineraries and recommend experiences to their clients that will engage adults, teenagers, and even those younger kiddos. So if you are an advisor and you're not an Aussie specialist yet, please register on aussiespecialist.com and complete the Introduction to Australia curriculum to become an expert on Australia. All advisors who attend this show are new to the program and complete the training by the end of November, so November 30, will receive a special Aussie gift from us. So please email us at hotline@tourism.australia.com once qualified, and we'll arrange shipping your gift. But apart from that, advisors can also visit the consumer website, australia.com, and type family in the search bar, and numerous family-focused itineraries and stories will populate to explore there. And do make sure you visit the Tourism Australia booth and check out all the resources we have uploaded there for you. We have developed family-friendly itineraries, which are always available on aussiespecialist.com, but also downloadable from that Tourism Australia booth during the show. So Gustavo, Laura, and Christine will be keen to chat with you about everything Australia has to offer your family travelers this week. So do come and say good day at the booth.
Well, we got to talk about the booths. And in fact, if you want more information on programs for travel advisors for Japan, that's where you'll be able to get that, right, Kristin?
Exactly. Thank you, Alan.
Okay. Not a problem, but I just want to make sure they can get that information. Go to the booths. We can't cover all the stuff in these panels. Meet the people, get to know them, and also visit the websites. Has anyone else got any other addresses to give out? I think we've covered it all. Well, I want to thank you all for being here, for sharing your time and your knowledge. It's been a good panel. Thanks.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And this is Alan Fine for Virtual Roadshows and Insider Travel Report.